I call them.
I'm cool with both.
YiiK Man. Got a few other people. Robin, Hellcry, and Wilfred, Wilfred. There's an I in the last part of the name, so I don't know how it's exactly pronounced, but I hope I didn't butcher it. Anyway, yeah, his character, good lord. There is a character in the game who was designed after Wilfred's likeness, if I'm not mistaking that.
That's correct. Yeah, we saw our good friend Wilfred's face one day, and we're like, wow, this guy is remarkably handsome. He should be in the game.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And you put him on the best character too.
Yeah, apparently he's like 2 characters in the game.
I mean, they are the same character. They're supposed to be the same character. Just one's going by a different name.
So.
Oh yeah, is that new information for people? I can't.
That's new information for me.
It's probably new for me.
I've wanted that confirmed forever.
I didn't really get to play the demo. I tried it out. I want to say in 2017. Oh, audio levels are wacky. How so? Can you explain a little bit more? Because I don't have anything going on the desktop right now. It's just us talking.
I guess we need to know who is wacky and who is wonky.
Yeah, because we got to turn the wacky down to wonky.
Is it me? Am I wonky?
See, it's always hard. JT is very quiet. And
Maybe
Andrew is
it's
the
Hellcry.
loudest.
Whoa.
Well, if Andrew didn't scream,
Brian is
all
the
time.
second loudest.
I'm second loudest.
I'm an angry man. Yeah, come on, you know that.
Yeah, Brian is the second loudest.
I had to tweak you all individually.
Story of my life.
Well, I turned Andrew down. I think I had to turn him up from a couple streams ago or something.
Yeah.
Let me.
I have no idea how loud I am.
You sound fine to me. Maybe
You're a
okay.
tiny bit quiet for me, but maybe I'm picky.
No, I think that Wilfred should be louder.
I can
Honestly,
make that
Wilfred
happen.
should be the loudest voice.
Alright, is this any better? I changed a couple of the levels there. I
need
love
to do
this
like a
Twitch
test
delay.
and say things.
You're still pretty quiet. Let me see if I can fix that. It's all the way up.
Testing.
So I think after I finish this first fan art I'm working on, I'll do an actual fan art for YiiK.
Are you still working on that like documentary dealio?
At some point, yeah.
Maybe
At
next
some
year,
point in
maybe
time,
year
I
after
will
that.
eventually make this thing. It might be like 50 years or so, but he'll eventually make it.
It will be made at some point.
But by then it'll be like this really cool documentary. This really old, like obscure
With
piece
this
of art.
Cult classic, yeah.
Yeah.
For a cult classic video game, of course.
Cult classic. Ah?
Let's see.
Ah?
This might be my issue. Voice meter is the thing apparently on here. I should probably switch back over. Is that any better? Please say yes.
Testing.
Please clap.
Oh no.
Please
Still
clap.
quiet.
Still quiet.
Please clap.
Please clap.
There's no dinner feed on the
That way
internet.
you can't tell who's who. It just claps. You hear one loud and you're like, oh, that's not loud. Who is that?
Son
I
of
don't
the
know.
son of the bitch. Recording.
Why don't you just try talking louder if you can't get your volume up?
Okay.
Or you
Okay.
could do what I do whenever I want to be funny and just press my mic against my lips because that's comedy.
Yeah.
If you
Scream.
do that, scream comedy.
Okay.
That flies in
Oh,
Zoomer
screaming
circles as
now.
being funny.
I turned up the boost. Is that better? I know you guys probably hear it.
Oh yeah,
That-
that's way
that's-
better.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
all I can
You
do.
sound louder to me.
Okay. That was 3 minutes of me going, can you hear me now? That's riveting content.
It is. Actually. people would
Wonderful.
pay pretty-
Hey, I mean, they made an entire commercial out of a guy saying that, so.
Oh, I'm not familiar with that marketing campaign.
Can you
it
hear
went
me now?
something- It went
was
something like,
Verizon.
Yeah, it was like Verizon.
Yeah. Okay, let's get this game going. We are pretty close to the end, I think.
Oh yeah.
Ish. Andrew's like, yes, finally.
That is nowhere to be detected in my
What?
voice.
No,
in any way.
never.
That is called projection.
We love each other here. We're good friends.
Do we?
I mean, I don't love you, but just fucking.
Got him.
That's a.
I think, like-
great place to bring me in.
What do you mean not
Like-
responding? Okay, there it goes. I was like,
I think
please stop crashing at the beginning of every stream. And no other time does it crash. Just the beginning of my stream. That's the only time. Like, come on.
Freaking shitty game.
Okay.
Why couldn't they have programmed it better?
They programmed
couldn't
it
they-
just great.
No, I think they programmed
Can't.
it just so it would crash, specifically when JT tries to stream.
That might be
No,
Yeah,
true.
there's like a special line of code that if you take it out of the game, it breaks the entire thing, and all it does is make it so the game crashes consistently when JT streams.
It's all based on what you named the character at the start of your playthrough.
Good job, Brian.
So if you named yourself Zelda at the beginning because you're not really a tryhard and you're just kind of doing it because it's part of the third ending, it's kind of like fuck you, get out of here, get out of here.
We don't have time for memes, only serious people.
That's right. What the hell did I do last? Okay.
Oh, you were trying to gather all of the appendages for Wendy the Wall, I believe.
Right. I think I had to go to the left side of the dungeon at this point.
Yes.
We got 2. I think I haven't been here yet.
Have any of you ever typed in like your name is like fuck or something when like you're talking to Crow in the beginning?
Nintendo wouldn't
No.
allow them to do that.
Alex, ever heard of them?
I don't say bad words.
Oh, wait a minute. Is
Fuck shit.
this the one where you...
No, but
Hell.
I think I remember something
Hey.
happened.
Yeah.
Hey,
I want to.
I want you to
don't say
fucking
bad words
stop
'cause I wanna
cussing
go
on this stream.
It's gonna be hard for me to stop cussing when your name is literally Hell Cry.
That's not a cuss word. That's just a place that you're going to because you can't stop cussing.
What the hell, Cry? Come on.
I'm going there for a lot worse than just cussing. Let's be real.
No comment. Hey. I found treasure. I mean medicine. Oh, and treasure. Oh god, these jokes aren't gonna land for like any of these guys who are actually on the voice call, just because they're a little bit behind.
Oh.
Just came to that realization. Okay, so
Yeah, they will laugh like 5 minutes later. Like,
wow, that was really funny.
Yeah.
I'm so
Yeah.
glad he said that.
That's why we just gotta
Wow.
laugh preemptively. Even if it's not funny, we have to laugh just to make sure it comes off of the
Laugh! Laugh, damn it!
If we think it's intended as a joke, we should just laugh. Watch us like laugh
yeah.
at like
Well, he's
everything
got the
he
applause
says.
sign.
Yeah, let's
like-
just
yeah.
pretend like
Isn't
you
that what the-
guys aren't behind.
Isn't that what the Jimmy Fallon audience does? Just assumes he's trying to be funny and just laughs arbitrarily.
He looks like he's in pain all the time.
He's so unfunny.
I know.
What if he was like a
Dude,
like,
okay.
listening to this?
I
He's
think
like the #1 Y2K fan. That'd be pretty.
Oh my God.
Let's try.
It's been 2 years since this game came out now, huh?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
sure has.
Yeah.
Wow. Jeez.
Yeah, that's wild. It
Wow.
doesn't feel like it's been 2 years.
It doesn't.
So,
It's because
Like,
lockdown changed that.
Yeah, last year
Yeah.
didn't count.
yeah, every
I
every
played
month
through it.
feels like 10 years.
This is just anniversary 1, 2.
Anniversary 1, Part 2.
So, Wilfred, how does it feel to unofficially be in a game?
it's great. I tell everybody who will listen. That's like my main selling point for the game when I tell my friends to buy it. I'm like, I'm the final boss at a video game, so you need to play it.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's sort of, kinda.
Definitely.
You just go, I'm a real asshole at the end of this game, and then you have to beat the shit out of me. It's fucking amazing.
You're not gonna be a great salesman by being like, I'm kind of, sort of the final boss in a video game. No, I just go for it. I'm the final boss in a video game. Play it.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Play this character who's sitting with his girlfriend at the end of time, watching the most boring movie ever made.
and
She really does
guys
look
know I
girlfriend.
What was that?
you guys want to know when I found out that I was the final boss in a video game?
Well, yeah.
Yes, I would like to know
When
that.
I played it.
Oh,
So this is a great story. This is a great story. I'm glad I could share. So I met these guys by being a fan of the game. I remember seeing their first post in like the PS Vita subreddit. That's how long this was ago. Like when I frequented there. Like they posted that they were gonna the first screenshot to there and a couple other places, and I happened to see it there, and I remember being like, oh, that looks weird. That's never gonna be finished. Like, and then I met them at in Vegas at what was it called? The
PSX. PlayStation Experience.
Okay. Yeah, PlayStation Experience. That was in my head, but it sounded too stupid to be real. When's the last? Did they do that?
They did it like 3 times, I think.
Yeah.
4 times.
I mean, that show was pretty awesome. To be
It
fair,
was
but,
great.
now they just call it the state of
so-
play.
Oh yeah. It's just much easier, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But so anyway, I met them there, and then I saw the first trailer, which was incredible. Like, I think all the trailers to this game were freaking incredible. But
I agree with that.
So I saw, like, they were playing the first trailer, they were playing the game, it had that giant pyramid with the crying eyeball that you have to pose, and I was just like, what the, whoa! And I like walked up to them as a fan, and I was like, wow, I remember seeing your stupid little screenshot in PS Vita subreddit and thinking it was never gonna be finished, and now it's come this far. Like it's so impressive. This is insane, and like I was really like blown away. And so I talked with them a while. Like that's like the greatest thing about going to video game conventions is talking to developers and just getting to pick their brain a little bit. And but so flash forward like 3 months, and then it's PAX East across the country,
Yeah.
and I walk up to them to check out the game again, and I'm thinking in my head, let me just pretend this is my first time meeting them too, because I don't want to put the I'm not gonna make it awkward, put the pressure on. Like, I'm sure they talk to 1,000 fans, you know. I'm not gonna put the pressure of like being like, hey, do you remember me? Like, I'm sure they don't.
I'm that Wilfred
so I'm
guy.
like, oh. So I walk up and I start talking to them about the game again, like it's the first time meeting, and I'm just to talk to them more because I'm just like a fan of the game at this point and excited as hell for it to come out. And like halfway into my first sentence, Andrew's like, "Oh, Will?" Like, and then he not only remembers me, but he remembers the name of my girlfriend. He's like, "Where's Jackie?" So I was like pretty impressed by that. And he's like, he was. What did you say? Well, we were talking. We were like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? And we found out we lived nearby. And then we just kept talking and actually hanging out, and we've been friends since. But so the way so I started anyway. All that to say, I started as a fan of the game. That's how I met them. And so, well,
Wait,
how
you
many
actually
years
like
has
this
it been
game?
by the time the game came out? 3?
Jeez.
Probably 3
now?
years.
Yeah, so,
Probably about that.
We met in 2014.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So like 4 or 5.
No, 2015 we met.
Okay. So all right. So anyway, so I'm like by the time the game comes out, I'm super psyched to play it. And I played through it obsessively. I think I beat it in under a month. And
No,
I
I
get to
did.
the last boss, and all of a sudden, I hear a laugh in that room, and I'm like, "What the hell? What? That's a good laugh." That's my first thought. I'm like, "Wow, what an evil, maniacal, great laugh that is." And then I'm like, "Wait, that sounds familiar. Wait, that's me. That's my laugh." And then I had this flashback to 2 years prior when Andrew randomly texted me, and we're always messing with each other and doing weird bits and not questioning them to stay deadpan. with each other, and he just asked me, hey, can you send me a video of you laughing as maniacally as you can? And I'm like, yeah, sure thing, buddy. So I just do it like without questioning it, and then I forget about it. And
Forget
so they
all
use
about it.
that laugh.
That's great.
And but I had known the character was gonna be in the game before that, like because I had worked with them at one of the PAX East showing off the demo. So, but up until the final boss, like I had forgotten about, like I was so wrapped up in the game's plot and everything by that point, like I had forgotten to like look out for my character in the full game. And then all of a sudden he's in that room and I'm like, oh. So.
Are you
Great.
wait? So are you recording his lines in 1.5 then, or is someone else doing that?
No,
Okay.
No,
no, it was just the laugh.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it was just the laugh. Sorry. Like.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah.
I think we may have even blended it with Chris. Like we did like a crossfade because I needed more of it,
Nice.
if I remember correctly.
Ah,
Yeah, I'm not a professional voice actor. Just a professional.
Just a maniacal laugher. Yeah.
Professional laugher. Yeah. Okay, so I think I actually am going to turn Wilfred up actually for me. So sorry for the pause here in the stream. The game is like totally covering his voice for me. Okay.
So Will, what do you remember like me telling you about the game while we were working on it? Because I didn't tell you like the plot really. I was pretty
That
vague
was
about all
great.
this stuff.
Yeah, you did a wonderful job of like really skirting around that, and I feel like you still are, because like you showed me so much, and I have so many memories of having like, you know, input on the game, and like you asking my opinion and just for critique and stuff, and like there's so many little things too that I can remember being like, ooh, my input like they took my input into account there. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so like I always like, but it's always like visual stuff. So like on one hand, I felt like I was seeing everything, and I was like always worried that I was like, oh, I hope I, still feel like the game is fresh when I get to play it. But that was like a totally unfounded fear, because there's so much in the game that,
Right.
like when I started playing, it's like, oh man, I'm so glad that like I was really only shown a fraction. And in terms of the plot stuff, it was always like you're always so vague and hinting. Like I never would have imagined how much was actually in the game. Like when you would talk about it, I always had the impression like, oh, so I feel like I'm gonna pretty much know what this game's about, but like it was never really specific. So how could I, So
And
that was
yet-
great as a player.
And you really have to pay attention to everything going on. Something that I'm terrible
Yeah, I
at.
mean-
But,
Yeah.
when I first played it, I felt like I kind of had a good idea of what was going on. Then come to find out, not exactly.
I feel like I have a very different takeaway from this game from most people. I don't think I've ever heard other people's say what like of what I got from this game. Like I got this whole game that's about to me the plot and I think that art can exist in simultaneous states like this, right?
Yeah,
So I think if you interpret the plot more literally, that's what most people seem to talk about. But for me, and maybe it's just because it's where my head's always at. But for me, the game was a lot about like this big metaphor for depression and
Yeah.
how you have to. So I mean, I guess I've heard people talk about that, but So what I should have said is I don't hear people talk about it very often. That metaphor for depression and like how when you're at your really like your darkest, you have to go through like ego death and experience like it feels like
Right.
your world needs to be destroyed and you need to like kind of let go and find a new world in order to like emotionally function. Like
Yeah.
if you've ever gone through like a really deep, dark depression. And so to me, that's like what the game's plot is about. And when I was playing it, I was like, this is incredible. This is, oh man, this is exactly what I've been looking for. But come to find out, when the game released, apparently it's bad. So.
No. It's just meta bad. It's okay. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
I had a wonderful time with the game, but I guess it's bad.
I mean, like it changed
Turns
my
out
life,
it's
and I love it very
I
much.
didn't
But I
enjoy
guess
it.
It was my favorite game of 2019, but I'm an idiot, I guess.
I mean, it helped me like learn to not be such a dick and like actually change my life in a positive way. But I guess I'm wrong about that.
Yeah.
Well, it's because you misinterpreted it. See, the game was actually telling you to act like Alex. You
Oh,
guys-
really? That's completely the opposite message that I got.
Oh yes,
Oh, yeah, that's the problem.
I got it right then.
You're wrong to it. That's where you fucked up.
I'm
That
still
was
a-
your mistake.
I'm still a dick.
Damn.
But
I
I
guess
I never really like thought about Alex too much, or kind of put myself. I guess I was like sucked way in by all the like the metaphysics stuff and how it was this great metaphor for depression, and then like so it was like a pretty big shock to me when all these people were talking about like how much of a dick Alex is and why that makes the game terrible, and I'm like, well, whatever. Movies can be about movies and fiction, right? Works of fiction can be about people that are dicks. It never bothered me. I don't know, like
yeah.
Right.
I mean, like, another thing is like I don't know, like what I've mentioned this several times, but like when I first played through the game, like my very first playthrough, I saw nothing wrong with Alex's character, mainly because I acted and talked exactly the way that he did. So like some shit went down like later on, like a few months later, and then around like late summer, early fall of 2019, I played through the game again, and it broke me almost, because I was like, no, I'm so like this guy, but he's such a terrible person. Why am I like this? Like, you know?
that's cool.
So you ask
Yeah.
you ask everybody inside about their ethnicity, like that was the thing that you used to do.
No, that's not something that I do.
Yeah, I had a really weird conversation with
Head left, I think.
Oh,
I just
right.
looked at it
No.
like it's like a kind of weird.
Go
trick
left.
kind
You're
of
right.
thing.
I
okay.
think.
I hope I'm right.
No,
I'm just
I think
guessing.
you're
I
right.
definitely.
You're right. Keep going
I
that
thought
way. Go
you
to
hadn't
the
done this part yet.
Trying to explore new lands through wind. And every time I get to a new place, I just assume that I'm on the right path. And I hit every switch I see. Hey, look, that was right.
Perfect.
Come on.
But yeah, I think you are right. A lot of people do take it a lot more literally instead of metaphorically.
Gotta take it meta literally.
Well, it's interesting because when I will explain like what something is a metaphor for, people be like, so that's all it is? It's just a metaphor? I'm like, well, it can be both literal and a metaphor. Like this is kind of like what postmodern works are all about. It's the merging of those two concepts. It's like the two different states that things can exist in. It can be like the truth and the meta-truth, not to sound like Jordan B. Peterson, haha. But you have two different states.
That wasn't Kermit.
Well, that's well, it was Mickey Mouse, but
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah, it's more about what you take from it rather than what you think they actually made the game to be about. Is that kind of what I'm understanding?
no, because that's not necessarily the right way to think about it. I mean, like obviously, what you get out of it is what you get out of it, and no one can ever tell you you're wrong about that. That would be a really absurd thing for anyone to ever try and do.
Unless their name is Hellcrat.
There are correct and incorrect interpretations of things. Like Fight Club is a great example. I'm sure I've talked about this many times before. Like a lot of people think Fight Club is this movie about how cool it is to stick it to the man, and like how cool it is to like start underground fight clubs. But it's definitely 100% about being gay and in the closet, and 100% about toxic masculinity. This is 1,000% what Fight Club's about. And it's okay if you don't get that from Fight Club, but then there's a story like something like Lolita, where if you read that and you thought it was like a romance novel, and that's a incorrect interpretation of it.
Yeah, definitely.
So like, it's not. I'm not gonna say all interpretations are created equal. They're just not.
Well, I just think it's wild to like get something out of a fiction, and then get angry at the creator for it, and then the creator's like, well, that's not what I did though. and then
Okay,
like,
but now you need to
still be mad about
apologize.
it.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
you know, like
I'm just gonna.
I'm certain that this is what I got out of
JT,
it.
go up on the thing again.
I'm just gonna stream this like to the Discord so everyone's like with me. Uh,
Oh, okay.
yeah, what-
Your stream froze, I think.
no, it's because I clicked out of the game,
Ah,
or it should be anyway. Am I still moving around on the Twitch stream?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
yep.
Yeah, no, I'm lost.
Someone
Wait,
asked.
go up
Go
to
up.
the.
Okay.
I know this part because I just had to do it like 4 times.
I would
with
figure it out
preparation for my
on
video.
my own, but I don't want to
Yeah.
be here all night doing this
Yes, hit
for
that.
their sake.
There you go. Yep, and then go to the other one. If it's easier, you can use Dali to hit the switches.
All right, so
and
No, go back. You have to get to that other platform in the back there. So you go on that one, and then hit that other switch, and then it should get rid of the other one. Sorry, go ahead, Andrew.
Oh, I just want to say, just because I use examples of people like Chuck Palahniuk and Novikov, I'm not comparing my
Why is that not
game
working?
to like the quality of their work. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just using them as examples of things that can be misinterpreted. I'm under no delusion that Y2K is, on that level. I know when I've used like those examples in the past, people have been like, "Oh, he's delusional. He thinks he's David Foster Wallace." But no, it's just my
It's a
what I'm-
shorthand for a concept.
yeah. But I have to put a like a asterisk next to everything.
damn it.
Otherwise, no.
Is there a way to get this carpet to go to that platform over there, to the left?
Okay, so I think we're missing something because like the faces over there on that other side should have just
Try hitting that switch. I want to see what changes.
just that.
Yeah, there was one. There was a switch to the left that I hit and nothing changed. And we were kind of puzzled on that one.
Maybe hit it again. I think you have to basically do that circle on the left like twice, and then this face turns on.
Yeah, it should be able to make it so that way like both of the faces are turned off, and then you can go through it.
I just hit this one again, right? I think.
Yeah, try hitting
I
this
believe
again.
so.
The switch in the back there.
I guess.
There you
okay.
go.
Guess I
Now
did
you
it
can go to
twice.
the. Yeah. Okay.
Yay, circles. Who made this
Yeah.
puzzle again?
This was Ian.
Ian, damn you and your circles. The last puzzle had a lot of just going in circles as well. Near the end of it.
Someone in
Yeah.
chat wants to know if the scrolling background code means anything.
Yes and no. If I remember, it was supposed to look like some kind of like an MS-DOS like boot up screen. There are dates on it, and I think they had significance, but I do not remember anymore what the significance was.
They did, but they don't anymore.
I mean, they definitely did. I'm the wrong person to ask, even though it was my decision.
I mean, to be fair,
Andrew, do
you,
you know what the dates mean?
A long time ago. Like this game is ancient.
In
you,
terms of like internet terms.
it's really
It really
easy.
is. It's getting up there.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of like how much of it we can keep in our minds, like especially working on so many other projects since. Like a lot of this stuff is either decisions that were made like honestly like 3 years ago. Well, no, probably like 4 years ago at this point because it's been out for 2 years.
Yeah, it's so easy to forget little details like that.
Especially
Alright.
for that guy who's probably like, oh, damn, I need a background. Okay. And then,
Yeah, it could have been something as simple as that.
does this look cool? Yeah, that looks cool.
Damn it.
Here,
Yeah, I
Andrew,
like-
I got a really good tip on helping you remember things you've forgotten.
Where's this?
All right. So what you do is you got to go out, like go outside of your house, right? And then you gotta, just search for like these little stairs in the middle of the woods. Go down there. You should be able to like kill a whole bunch of monsters or something, and then go back to like the nearest payphone you can find. Should be like a special phone number that you can call, and then you'll be able to go into this place called your mind dungeon, and you can have this like talking bird. They'll tell you everything about your past.
You remember everything about your dad.
Yeah, you can remember how your dad abandoned you.
Fuck. This sounded way worse.
Hey,
Ugh.
so yeah, look,
So he just
I
defaults
gotta
to
go
this.
away for a while. I don't know when I'm coming back.
Oh,
How
okay.
long
Bye,
did-
Robin.
Oh hey, look, the voice
Oh,
chat.
Ryan, is that your social security number in the background?
What?
Oh shit! I think it
Oh,
might be.
that's what that was.
Wait, what?
Quick, get rid of it.
Forgetting it, so he's like, I gotta put this
I
somewhere.
gotta
I
write
can...
this down somewhere.
Brian,
Man,
why
I
did
just
you
gotta
just write
put this-
pie in the background? Okay. This is pretty close to the
Forgot all
Yuzu
about
fight, I
this.
think.
This is
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
we're
getting
gonna-
close.
We just gotta decapitate someone. Oh hey, look who it is! It's Y2K herself.
Really do.
I'm reading this
I
just in
love
case
that,
there's like puzzle stuff in here. I don't think there is though.
I know you haven't seen it, Andrew. Also, the fucking dude in this is just one of the brothers.
What?
Anyways, as I was saying, I know you haven't read J-Rake's comic yet, but he does make the main enemies Yuzu and Nali.
That's
Oh,
amazing. That's based.
Oh yeah, I remember
Hey, Brian.
this bit.
Brian, when was it that you decided to develop your Android self, Brian?
Ah! What the fuck?
He's not gonna answer that. His lawyer, the Council of Interdimensional Bizarre Esquire, told him not to.
Like
Oh, man.
mid-Obama administration, maybe. Like,
That was a good time. Jeez. That was good.
Hey, Andrew, did you see this this Haruki Murakami bingo card that someone put in the trash can chat?
I did not. Let me check.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
This is the moment.
YiiK makes a diagonal bingo on it.
There it is.
Let's
The walking
go.
wall.
I love it. Best character.
Who's reborn anew, probably.
Wendy. Girl with piano says Nyla El Amin likes crane machines. She frequents the arcade in her Frankton. Okay, I had to read that in proper context to understand what the hell that meant.
don't forget to save, by the way.
Oh yeah, you gotta save. Yeah, there's a payphone right there
Yeah,
for
let's not. It's gonna crash the second I go in. I know it.
you.
Okay.
You know, I'm at a
So we
pace.
save so that we don't crash.
All right, here we go. There's no. I don't think there's any puzzle to this. Okay, there's a little puzzle to it.
Okay, I gotta ask: does the satanic imagery like mean anything, or is it just there for like the sake of being there?
Everything means something in this game.
Everything.
Okay,
Yeah. What was that? Alex?
including how that one caged head has like tongues coming out of its tits.
That too.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, like you don't end up with an aesthetic like this without it being pretty deliberate
Yeah, that's fair.
or masculine. I don't know, but
Oh, okay. Wait, what?
It summons a door over there.
No, it froze for a
Off to
second.
your-
I
off
really
to
thought
the-
the game crashed again. I was just screaming in my head.
Yeah, no,
Screams and
this-
mania.
Yeah, this Murakami bingo card, like, YiiK makes like a diagonal on it almost.
Hey, when are we getting
Well,
that
I
playing
mean,
card game?
YiiK is like a Murakami homage. So.
Yeah. All you're missing is let me see here.
Hey, it's Andrew again. Found him right here.
A dried up well. I don't think that
Bruh.
like
There's
that's
a well in there's a well near the Blue Woman.
Oh yeah, there is, isn't there? And there's also a well outside Rory's house, but that one has water in it.
Yeah.
Damn.
Running. Is there any cooking in the game? I don't remember seeing cooking.
No,
That's not true.
There's a kitchen.
Sammy cooked.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
well,
Semi's
mother.
Semi's mother quotes.
Yeah, in the in Bella's mine dungeon, I think. And she looks all like haywire.
Yeah.
Bruh.
There's no Tokyo in the game, so Tokyo at night doesn't work.
Well, there's Cape Juno, Japan.
Yeah.
Talk to me. Potential victim 5. Let's stay away from the man in the mask. Oh yeah,
Jeremy.
I'm gonna cut my head off. If I don't have my head, if I don't have a head, my neck will be too cold. These are hints, I think. Fire. Is it... Wait a minute.
You know how some like media can like ruin the way you hear a phrase forever because you just always hear it said that way.
yes.
Yeah.
This is
Okay, well for me,
Creepy.
whenever someone says the word fire, all I hear is like Fox and Smash Brothers going fire.
Nice.
That's an amazing impression.
A friend in high school like wore glasses, but like he didn't like to wear them, so he would always do this thing because like he was like super into Smash Brothers, so he would be like Fox charging up his like Smash attack or whatever, be like, ah! And then he like put on his glasses and go fire.
insulted death.
God.
Sure.
I'm the same way though. I'm the same way. Whenever I hear Falcon Punch, I can't help but think of Smash Brothers.
Falcon. Yep. Yep, it's stuck
Yeah,
in my
when
head
you
too.
hear-
Right. When that
in
comes
the
up in
everyday
conversation.
context that you hear it in, Will.
What's
What'd you
that?
say?
When you hear the word Falcon Punch in the everyday context that you do.
Yeah.
Smash Brothers.
I can't help but think of that's just that's,
I,
it's that Captain Falcon thing that
Someone, girl at the piano says, "YiiK overcooked crossover win."
Have their people reach our people.
I think I remember seeing Andrew post once. He was like, "Overcooked is the greatest game."
I've never played it. Maybe I should. But yeah, I actually used to know the guy who. Go ahead.
Pretty based.
You said that game is pretty base. Sorry, I talked over you a little bit.
No, me saying that it's great.
Oh,
I think I remember tweeted that I think the first week when Y2K was out, I had tweeted that oh man, what is that game we always play, Will? With like the
Towerfall?
archers in it.
Tower.
Oh,
Yeah, Towerfall.
Tower-
That Towerfall was like the greatest indie game, and it was like perfect. And then someone's like, "Oh, I pity your game's not perfect." I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, I agree. I wish my game was as good as Towerfall. Like, I don't really know how you think that's owning me right now."
we got some pretty important.
I'm not
dialogue.
owned. I'm not owned, he says as he slowly turns into a corn cob.
He's not owned as he puts on the collar.
But I had a college fund that should have been separate from your unemployment fund. Hey, bitch.
I really do.
I think
Just
it,
love
it
how that
seems. Yeah, I do too. That feels like maybe some inner dialogue from old Alex here.
Yeah, the Golden Alpaca quotes like Alice at times.
Wait, do I have to kill
All
the baby?
time.
You have to give the baby to the mom.
This is a Christian game, okay?
We don't kill babies here.
Yeah, we just put satanic symbols everywhere.
We put satanic symbols everywhere. We have a secret ending where we kill like the people before they can even do anything bad.
Going
Like a
out
Christian
that
game.
way.
You remember the good Christian saying, you gotta kill Hitler.
Bionic Commando? Alright. Well, that's 2. And I just gotta, chop my own head off. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. I should just let it go on screen. It's in the trailer, okay?
I remember
No one
our
remembers.
publisher, when they saw that, they're like, yeah, this is definitely getting an M.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly how that went down.
They were like, children aren't
Don't
playing
grab
this
the head.
video game.
Jeez.
Oh, you missed something.
Yeah.
I mean,
Get ahead of myself.
that's what. Yeah, I mean, like, they shouldn't really have a problem with it though, because most of the games they publish are M-rated.
Oh, they have no problem with any of the content in Y2K. They were very. Well, so the producer of the game, Brian Queck.
I do want to say real quick, I just love this scene. Carrying my own head around. Go ahead. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
That's cool. Brian Queck, the game's producer, who was the guy who discovered the game and then ended up funding his company, Yiikin, funded the development. He's a big Murakami fan. So when we explained to him that we wanted to do like a sort of like Murakami sort of inspired story, that's what I think really sold him on the general concept of the game.
Huh. Neat.
Was he still pretty sold throughout development?
Oh yeah, I mean they were very supportive of it as they were playing it. Like they were seeing it while we were working on it pretty much at every convention. We did the convention like every 6 months.
Yeah.
Basically, while we
You
were
guys
working.
were doing conventions all the time. Like, there's a
Many.
lot of footage of you guys at conventions.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna do as many for our next game. I just
Yeah, that's
is that kind
understandable.
of is that kind of like a lesson learned from this?
no. I mean, we're just gonna send people to do it for us. Like it was a big part of why the game sold as well as it did, because a lot of people knew that it existed, and the conventions went a big way for making people know that it exists.
Yeah.
But like it just slows down development, when you're stopping every few months to
Right.
Go,
Okay.
yeah, like go hang
I
out.
see what you're saying.
Yeah,
But,
I like. Go ahead.
Well, now we don't have to worry about that because there's no conventions anymore.
Yeah.
I mean,
We
yeah,
like that.
you're not wrong. Yeah, no, I just kind of figured that would probably be kind of wear you out, But I could.
The thing is, conventions are super fun. There's like we always made a point to like try and see Wilfred, try to get Wilfred to come to as many as possible to help us promote the game. Like it's always like a gigantic slumber party, and we have a bunch of friends in the industry who we only get to see during the conventions because they're from all over the world, really.
Mm-hmm.
So like they always were a joy, but it was the stopping for like a week, go work on the we have to make a demo, and then we have to put the development on pause, and it was definitely stressful for that reason alone.
Just kind of complicated
So-
things, basically, as
Yeah.
far as the game development went.
It was just it was part of the learning curve, really. Necessary evil.
You're actually the second developer I think I've talked to who sort of had the same sentiment. I don't know if you know, like, Citizens of Earth. That's a game I may have brought up before. I talked to him.
Of it, I don't know the developers, but I know of it.
He's I know the head guy. I don't know who else worked on it, but yeah, nice guy. But yeah, he sort of shared that same sentiment. Also, that just game dev, especially on a deadline, is just super stressful, and I can definitely understand that, especially with things like bugs and you know, maybe a
Hey, but the reality is, unless you are independently wealthy, there's always a deadline though, because like it's all just about how much burn. Like, you know, you've got your budget, and you have a certain amount of time that the money will last, and you have to finish the game in that time frame.
true, yeah, because you will run out of money.
Reality
Yeah.
of it.
Hey Vince, what's up? Oh damn it, I was gonna heal.
Hey, Vince.
Yo, what's good, Vince? The only good member of the Earthbound community.
Oh, and
Oh, hi.
That's the no. There's a lot more, but like, he's just the only one that interacts with us.
Member. There you go.
please do share.
The greatest. Yes, he's
Drop-
the only one that interacts with us and is willing to like say that he likes the game.
Drop that hot goss.
The Yiick fandom.
He's the only Earthbound fan who is willing to admit that they are also a Y2K fan
You know, with
and
how
still engage with the Earthbound community.
with a community of people who like a game where you know, a bunch of grown adult police officers beat up a child, they sure don't like this game very much. I don't really understand that.
Well, you know, it's kind of weird because here, you know, a bunch of young adults can beat up police officers. You'd think that, like,
Yeah, they flip the script.
Yeah,
like,
And Mega
they'd be
Man's.
about that.
you can be Ackk in Y2K.
Right.
And
Not
all
to
those
get
times
political, but
I do not represent the political views of anyone on this stream.
I'm just
What they
imagining
say
all
is
the
purely
Earthbound
them.
people are. I'm just imagining all the Earthbound people are super Blue Lives Matters, and then like all of Y2K people are just super.
Oh,
That's
that's
so-
All right, well, that was
That's like. It turns out that's the main reason they don't mesh.
Oh God, can you imagine if that were actually the case?
well, that was the Y2K stream. See you never. God.
We like wake up tomorrow, JTB Plus is trending. We're like, oh, what's
Oh,
that
no,
for?
I've
oh,
been
we accidentally
canceled.
Canceled Jay.
I'm just gonna tweet out a bunch of like middle fingers. Like I don't care, bite me. But
Damn, we accidentally canceled JT. Not again.
not again. But what the hell were we talking about? Oh yeah. I was gonna say.
Imagine finding out that all Earthbound fans are super conservative. Like, for some reason, like it's their favorite game. Like Mike Pence is seen playing it on an emulator. Like,
Oh, that'd be.
he's just like, me and Mother love Earthbound. It's just
Very
wholesome.
reason that Nintendo never ported Mother 3.
Oh God, can you imagine if at like the next Trump rally, he's just like, I'm telling you guys, we need to legalize Mother 3. It's a tragedy that this game has never been ported to the Americas.
No. He'd be like, I just got off the phone with Abe. Mother 3. Like, it's happening. It's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be translated full English next month. Watch. Believe me.
Actually, you wouldn't even have to do that. It's already been done.
Yeah.
So
True.
you could just you know port that, I guess.
He'd be bragging about it being in full 3D and. Like,
Hey, you know
on
what?
the
That
Switch.
kind of
We're
does.
releasing Earthbound 64 too, just because
Yeah.
I'm such a nice guy.
That sort of does bring up.
Yeah, that's what he's gonna say. He's gonna say, Mother 3 full 3D on Switch, and Earthbound 64. And,
Whoa.
I hope
Mother 3
that Biden can at least get us Mother 3 with microtransactions.
Oh God,
you know,
that's about the best you can hope for, I think. You know?
the best we could hope for.
But
We should be grateful for it. You know, at least it's happening, right?
I wish it was.
I just want
And
to go on the
it's
record
just
and
the
say,
fan translation.
Oh,
with
Vince,
transactions added.
Vince94 says he'd brag about how good it is, but in reality, he just saw one screenshot of the fan translation.
Yes.
Hey, that's all you need sometimes.
So
Hey, a good screenshot can sell a lot of games.
I was gonna say that I know you guys are just joking, but it does kind of bring me to the one thing I'm curious about is what does everyone here kind of think about? I guess you'd say just modern remakes, you know, of older games. Like they'll take something 2D and then make it 3D sometimes, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
Okay, so
I
I
love-
generally don't think that it's necessary.
Right.
And the reason I say that is because I don't like the idea of the old game being like sort of erased or overshadowed by the new remake.
Right.
I love
do think that
remasters.
Final Fantasy VII remake didn't cross into that territory, but you don't know that by the name of it. You
Yeah.
know that
Oh.
after playing it.
You can't see this dialogue unless you buy the game. Sorry.
I love the new trend of what these companies are doing, where they're running like the game engine or the logic or whatever it is in the background, like and then they're putting the new engine on top of that.
Yes.
So I think Demon Souls does that, and the new Diablo 2 remake is doing that, and I love that.
Diablo
'Cause,
2
like, to your
remake?
point, Brian,
I didn't
like
know.
I really think Diablo 2 is a perfectly playable and awesome game still.
Right.
But man, it's gonna like I've played it, you know, a dozen times over the years, and
Yeah,
I'm
I guess
super
that's my
excited.
thing. Like, if they pull it off and it's right, like the
Yeah, there was a problem with the Halo
like there was
anniversary.
the Wonder Boy Dragon's Trap remake, which was awesome, and it worked exactly the same way. It like was emulating the original game underneath, so it felt
That's the way to
identical.
do it.
With
If you
new
didn't like the
graphics.
new graphics, you could just turn them
Yeah,
off,
that
go
was
back to
great.
the old ones. But the new graphics
Yeah.
were awesome.
Yeah, that was a really
so, like,
interesting one to me.
Yeah, and I don't like it. Like usually, I'll see it with Japanese games. Unfortunately, it'll be like trying to think of a good example. Like
Secret of Mana remake.
yeah, like Secret of Mana is a good one. Like they'll do that, and it's like, well, it's okay, and it's technically, it might even play better, technically speaking, if we're being like objective. It doesn't look better though, and you know, when the original 2D games look so good, they should spend extra effort trying to make their 3D remake look good.
I
you know?
think the trend of remasters is where it really should go. Like you see with Legend of Mana, where they're going, yo, we're just basically either taking source files that we have of this artwork and then just playing the same, making the same game, but now it's widescreen and now like you can see the art and a higher fidelity. That's where I'm like, that's perfect.
Yeah, like the only problem I really have with remasters is when it's been like only 2 years or something, and they're like,
Yeah, that's
like,
really
it's
dumb.
remastered, and like
System
all
now.
it is just like a slightly more HD version of the game.
Yeah.
Like that's like the only problem I have with like the term remasters. But like if they actually are like remastering it, then it's like that's good. I like that.
I do think like the Near Replicant remaster is probably going to be one of the best with how
Oh, yeah,
the
that looks
direction they're
amazing.
going. Because
So-
it's like, man,
I like
all of
their- I really like what they're doing with the Final Fantasy VII remake because they're just like saying, fuck it, we're remaking the idea of what Final Fantasy VII was. We're not remaking the game. There's some parts that are very similar, but like it's almost like they took the design documents of like
The comb, JT.
conceptual
Go ahead.
Final Fantasy VII and then just did their own thing. And I really, really loved like the atmosphere that they got, and just that game's like cutscenes and like transition between battle into to, like the little cutscenes is just incredible. Like I want
Yeah.
more of that. Only if it's done as well as that. Extremely rare.
Do you think it's okay to talk about certain aspects of that game without spoiling too much?
I don't give a fuck. I played it.
Okay, fair enough. So
No, he's at Yuzu.
you know what?
oh,
what?
yeah,
I
we
think
got the little-
I think
Did you
Fate has
save?
spoken here. Yeah, I saved.
Cool.
the Evangelion reference there at the bottom.
Oh yeah, bottom left.
Time for new movie.
Oh man,
Is that in this?
I watched Evangelion after playing this game, so now I maybe
Really?
get that reference.
It's just in like the little corner. There's like 3
Yeah,
little
green block right
statues. Yeah.
F this Yuzu boss battle. It took me so
Essentia's
long
in
to
the
beat.
way with their fucking plastic body.
It was really
damn it.
funny. I made that suggestion to make the healer bot on Yuzu.
Okay, this
And I
this
told my
dialogue
roommate
is
about it.
this dialogue is just creepy.
I
Yeah.
told my roommate about it, and he's like, "You made this bot. You had them make this boss into the one thing I hate."
Creepy old
I
man.
don't know, man. It's just better now.
when I was recording footage for the review I'm making, I like got to that part. Like I went until 1.25 not knowing like pretty much anything about it because I wanted to be surprised, which was good because like you can see in the footage like after the like golden alpaca cutscene, I'm like frozen on the like boss screen for like a couple seconds because I just don't know what I'm doing because I'm so blown away by it. But like I like got to this part of the game and I was like, what the fuck is this healer doing? Why is it not dying? Who did this?
Oh,
That was
Mukal,
my suggestion.
Mukal
Okay,
says,
yeah.
"Rip the cool cinematic Yuzu fight that possibly existed at some point." You know, the one with the giant heads chasing
that
Alex
was-
around.
I think that was
That's a-
made just for the trailer, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
Not
it
really
was.
sure.
It was made for the trailer because we needed to we had shown everything we had at that point. We were just starting this dungeon, so we wanted to make something visually interesting for it.
And it
Yeah,
was
we could
that.
never really work it in satisfactorily. So
And the time constraint was pretty.
yeah, so it pretty much just stayed there on the sort of cutting room floor before even being made.
Yeah.
It was born on the cutting room floor, and
Yeah.
that's where it stayed.
So I'm guessing
is
I'm guessing Yuzu is an alternate reality version of Alex that found the Alex meteor still somehow, and it fucked him up.
Yes.
So, JT,
Just
what
yes.
is the
Meteor? We'll see the meteor. It's got little spindly legs.
I think he meant really what was it?
What was that?
If you meant more like metaphorically or like within the terms of the story, what is the meteor?
An
Death.
unkillable ego that crushes everything in its path.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's kind of.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Well, Andrew's not saying anything, so it's probably a bad one.
Oh, so it's not bad.
Yeah,
So it's interesting.
It's interesting.
Mom.
Someone said earlier in the chat, the characters in the D2 remake look stinky. I love how stinky they look. They look exactly as stinky as I remember them, but
What-
like with polygons, and I love that.
When was that showed off? I haven't. This is the first I'm hearing of that.
The Diablo 2 remake?
Yeah.
It was like a couple of weeks ago at like the online BlizzCon that they did.
That's a hard one because you don't want it to look too good. Like you
Yeah,
know what I
oh,
mean?
that right. I think they did the perfect thing of like, well, I remember I messaged you guys and I said,
right.
oh, like I was watching it on like on my phone with crappy resolution on like a Twitter
Yeah.
video, so it was like super artifacty, and I was like, oh, I was telling them, I think they just found the old assets and they just up-resed them. This is amazing, but it's actually they literally put it all into 3D, and it just looks exactly how I remember it
Oh
looking,
God.
but with resolution, like.
Well, you know, as long as we all have phones, I think we'll be okay. You know. No one got that reference. Okay.
Oh,
Well, you had
me.
me concerned.
Yeah,
all of a
yeah, no,
sudden. I'm
the-
like,
the
wait,
Diablo-
is that really the
The
PC?
Diablo Immortal thing.
The phone-only Diablo 2 or Diablo 3 weird game that they're still
You
making.
guys
for some
have
reason.
phones, right?
Yeah.
You
You
You guys have phones.
I like to throw that in all my friends' faces whenever I get the chance. It's a good quote.
That's a legend. That's a legendarily bad PR response on the level of we have a product for people who want that. It's the Xbox 360.
Well,
Yeah.
like I
that is
feel
that is
really
very close to
bad
that.
for-
Wow. There's like so many like good, terrible like PR quotes to come out of the game industry.
Wait a minute. Is he saying lame ass humans?
Yes. That's like one of the lines that they have preset for all the enemies.
Oh, okay. I thought it was specifically him. Like I just
No,
wasn't
it's
even
like
paying
all-
attention till now.
Yeah. No, all of the enemies have like preset lines, and like Vela has that too. Like you can be doing your boss fight, and the text will say, "I am mysterious Vela. Feel my power, lame ass humans," which I think is funny because it doesn't fit her character at all.
Wait, what?
I
What?
like-
Oh,
a lot of it comes down to like I would love to update that stuff, but a lot of it comes down to localization. I could add
Yeah.
text all day long, but I have to make sure that it's gonna fit within like the time frame that the localizer has because they're very busy,
Yeah,
very-
that's fair.
sought after at this point.
this is
Yeah, you know, after they did this great work on Y2K.
pretty hard boss. Damn.
Yeah, he's a little.
Can you
beefy
short
right
hop
now.
on that mini game?
What you do is you walk to if you walk to the right side of that, you'll come out of the left side, and you'll avoid the knives.
Oh, okay.
Mar-
I think it's
Yeah,
think
it
it's
took me
like-
a while to figure that out.
And
Too.
you also can short hop on that, yes.
Yeah,
Okay. See, I was trying to figure out how I was supposed to dodge that. Like, what the fuck?
yeah.
I think it's fine for him to be a little difficult because he is one of like the final boss. He's the final boss before the final bosses. But
I know, it's-
sometimes it
He's
feels-
technically like the only final boss you can actually beat, essentially.
Well,
I mean,
so
you can beat all of the guys inside of the proto comment.
Well, yeah, but I don't really think of it as like a final boss because like I don't know. I almost never really have a problem with any of those four, but like this guy I do have
Damn it.
problems with.
I need to slow down time on this one. In that particular mini game, I
like-
struggle with that.
it's pretty good for him to be a little beefy, but I do think it needs very slight adjustments.
Oh, I did it.
Can you level up at all?
I already leveled up.
Oh, okay.
I'm like level 32, I think. So I'm just gonna time energy the crap out of this heal bot.
Wow, you're really good at that. Yeah. Whoa.
Oh yeah, somebody commented on the music for this fight. Yeah, this was done by Callum Bowen, and it's just, I think it's probably one of my favorite tracks in the game. It's just,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
so,
Yeah, no, like when I first heard it, I was like, huh, that's really interesting. And like the more I hear it, the more it like grows on me.
Oh, that freaking
Yeah.
heal bot's gonna come back. Damn it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's the best part about it. It like takes a few turns and then it'll come back to life if you don't beat Yuzu.
Some people
It's,
some people short
it's
hop.
not in the next. It's not in the next. It's not in the next phase, so don't worry.
I probably shouldn't love hearing you struggle with it, but I do.
But, like,
Damn it.
Hellcry, we should do like a bit for my review where I'm going over like all the new things. I'm like, and it's just like a shot of me like dying to like that boss or whatever, or like getting my ass kicked, and I'm like, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, well, you know what? I happen to know the exact person who is directly responsible for this being in the game, and then I just call you on Discord, and I'm like, oh, hey, Hellcry, you know how you like suggested they put that heal bot in the Yuzu fight? And you're like, oh yeah, that was funny or whatever, right? And I'm like, yeah,
No, it wasn't.
yeah. And I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. Hey, can I ask you a favor? You're like, oh yeah, sure. What do you need me to do, Robin? I'm like, yeah, can you go fuck yourself?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's one of these things. Like I think it's great for the fight because Yuzu is this like before he wasn't really anything special.
He had
just kind
like
of
some strong,
It-
like he was
just
pretty
strong.
strong, but that was about it. Yeah.
and like the first phase would go by so quickly, and I was like, well, what if you just make the phase last longer, and then have it thematically fit with him with adding a robot, you know?
Yeah.
He just sits there and heals him, and have it work like the Essentia, so you don't just get rid of it immediately and don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Please die. Ow! What the fuck? Okay. I didn't expect. I saw 60 and 50 earlier, and I didn't even see it go down. So I'm like, okay, I guess
Oh, you got him.
all you gotta do is beat down, you know.
Yes.
Easy peasy. I didn't struggle at all with that. Let me tell you. Your eyes deceive you. I didn't use any smelling salts.
But I think it's good to have a boss that's kind of a
Wait
bit
a minute.
challenging towards the end.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, he has a second phase, remember?
No, I don't.
And they gave him 2 more mega bots in this one.
Give me a third party member, damn it. Also, I can't talk today. I don't know what's going on. Well, at least these ones will probably die and stay dead.
Yeah, I think they do.
Great.
At least when I fought them, they didn't respawn.
Reality break. This is the easier fight for JT. Damn it. Yeah, this does feel like it could be a final boss, or just a really difficult mid or side boss.
Yeah.
Hey Brian, did you credit Metal Gear for that mech? Credit.
It's in the references.
References. I mean, it looks distinct enough from a Metal Gear.
Oh, it's completely distinct from a Metal Gear.
Nah, that's a Metal Gear.
I mean, it's not a Metal Gear. It's just not any of the shapes.
It's just not the same as any Metal Gear that exists. In
Yeah, it looks nothing like a Metal Gear.
Well,
and
you
then
can,
Wilfred's like, nah, it's a Metal Gear. Come on, man. Come on, man. I know what it really is.
Well, you can see the guy
My
inside
point
for one.
is,
Your
Brian,
point
did you
is-
invent the concept of a giant robot? So maybe you should credit it. You know, I'm just saying.
I don't even remember what's in the credits page at this point.
This giant
you
robot
guys
credited towards Power Rangers, 1995.
Oh, yeah, no, we looked at that last night in Yiikin. We looked at like the references page last night, and I fucking lost it because you guys credited your own fucking game in the credits list. You guys put
Gotta cover all your bases.
The
You never know.
Not a credits
the
page.
reference in the reference page. You guys put like halfway down the list. It's just at Studios 2 brothers, and I'm like fucking losing it. Like,
Oh, you
why
gotta
would
be
you
fair.
Well,
reference
that
your
is
own game?
technically that is in the game, so it should be referenced.
This is the deal with the whole reference page. And this came to be something that we had to do. We wanted it to basically be like a recommended reading list. Like, we wanted it to be a list of cool things that people who like the game could go check out. We also wanted it to be comprehensive and accurate to like what actually is referenced in the game.
Yeah.
So it just made sense since Two Brothers is referenced in the game, and Two Brothers appears to Alex at the end of the game. Like, okay, so basically the way it works is whenever reality is broken, some sort of piece of nostalgic media to Alex sort of like fills the gap and tries to comfort him.
Yeah.
But when you see Two Brothers at the end, because we didn't want to have like Cloud appear and have Cloud like to Alex and like put dialogue in another character's mouth that wasn't ours, we used a character from our game to sort of fill that sort of.
I think Andrew's dying.
Yeah, you're
breaking up.
Two
Andrew.
Brothers didn't it like that. That's the whole idea.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's interesting that you say that, because one thing that I've been sort of, I guess, using to cope the last couple of years. I say cope, but I mean it's partially nostalgia. I'm also not super happy where I live right now. I've been. It's like any time, especially on the weekends when I get kind of I don't want to say depressed, but kind of like stuck in a rut. I really like to just go and look at stuff from Japan, or just sort of reminisce on that when I was living there, and it sort of reminds me of that a little bit. Just kind of makes you feel better.
Yeah.
It's a
But
safe
you-
space.
Totally.
You'd probably love it up here in Washington then, because like we have like a whole bunch of like Japanese style gardens in this.
Oh,
Like,
really?
yeah, like it's like I think we're like I think Washington State is known as like one of the like Japanese garden capitals of the U.S. or something. I'm not sure. I could be definitely wrong about that.
Well, whenever we're allowed to travel again, I'll be sure to try to check it out.
Yeah, you can meet me, and then I can show you my terrible well, not terrible. I'm like very thankful for it, but like I don't even rent an apartment. I rent a room in a guy's house. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a
maybe
nice
one day,
room. It's
maybe
like a
one day.
master bedroom, and I have 2 sinks in my room that I don't even know what to do with.
You said 2 sinks?
I got 2 sinks in my bathroom and a shower.
Just be thankful
Are
you
they
have
regular
2.
sinks, or is one like a good industrial sink?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
No. It's just 2 bathroom sinks.
Oh, that sucks.
It's supposed to be a master bedroom, but it was like the room that I got, so you know.
I don't feel bad though. You know, I've been there myself.
Yeah.
It's rough.
My coworker and I sort of half joke, half like have like kind of mean it. We'll like joke about how like once all this pandemic stuff blows over, we'll probably be able to afford a bunch of houses because all the old people will be dead.
Aww.
Oh, yeah.
Like
that's
yeah,
rough.
like it's like you know it was bad, but I mean it's not entirely untrue.
Did I always deny I harmed someone?
I'm not so
I
sure
don't
about that
think
actually.
that the house
I denounced
anything
that,
to do
you
with.
know.
Yeah,
Go-
yeah. I don't know. None of us know how the economy works. Let's just be real.
Go ahead,
What's
Andrew.
an economy?
It's
Must
a
be why.
mystery.
Economy. It's like that episode of South Park where they where like Kyle goes to like Washington D.C. to like ask about the economy, and it's just them like cutting off a chicken's head, and then it just walks around this like spinning wheel or whatever, and then whatever it lands on is how they decided that the economy is going to turn out.
Fun fact. I think I think the actual definition is something like how basically like how things you need move around in your society. Like that's what the economy is.
What?
So
No,
it's
that
not
doesn't sound right.
always just money, you know.
So, should I feel guilty?
It could
that
be
I
a
harmed
food
someone?
or other resources.
But money makes the world go round. That's what I've been told my whole life.
Not if it doesn't mean anything.
Just like life.
Oh, I denounced that.
Wait,
Yeah,
Robin over here getting denounced.
Disavow.
Disavow.
I've yeah.
He probably especially disavows that actually.
women we met? The Essentia 2000 went on staring at me with
I don't know.
suspicious
I'm like
faces.
still very
As I
nihilistic
worked
and
there, I
shit.
thought of a satellite floating in
Yeah.
space.
So,
Well,
We'll fix that one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things will get better, I promise. We're just in a rough spot.
Pure curiosity.
or you'll die. You know that.
Or you'll just die. I mean,
Yeah, or I could die.
My
Yeah.
words
I could ascend into the soul space.
is that really dying? I guess that
No,
is.
It's not really dying, but like I've been like at that level of sadness before.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's more accurate of what it is. It's like the soul space is the place between when your life is about to make a sudden change and you don't know what direction it's going to go, and where you end up on the other end is your new reality.
Yeah.
Even then, I kept telling myself that
That's a
Yeah.
really interesting way of putting that.
Seeing Sammy vanish, meeting
I gotta go. My grandma's gonna be here soon.
You don't know when you're coming back.
He's not
I'll
coming
try not to
back.
make the same
So
mistake.
We're wrapping up in 20
I
years.
gotta go away for a while. I
Get the
don't
hell
know
outta here.
when I'm coming back. Yeah, things will be fine. Things might be tough, but crap, I'm terrible at this. I don't have the full thing pulled up, otherwise I'd do the full thing before leaving.
Please don't. Go say hi to your grandma.
We'll do.
Say hi to your grandma for me.
Ask
Right,
your
he
grandma
doesn't
what
know
the
us.
meaning of life is.
Ask her what the
What?
meaning of life is.
Ask your grandma what the meaning of life is and let us know what she says.
Yeah, I'll do that just for you. All right. See you later,
All right.
boys.
Later, man.
Later.
In before she says 42. All right, so
Man,
that's
a really good excuse.
It's a really good
My
excuse.
grandma's here. I gotta go.
It is a good excuse. No one would expect it.
I'm
mean-
gonna start using that. I've been using for the opposite for when I don't want to go somewhere. Lately, I've been using I can't leave. The magic of this place is all that's keeping me alive.
That's good.
I stand that. That's good.
So we're almost out of. I mean, we're technically out of the Essentia dungeon, but we're almost out of like this arc.
But
I
were
guess.
we ever really in the Essentia dungeon?
Probably not. knowing this game, it's all metaphorical and metaphysical.
And literal.
Look at this head. Speaking of which, apparently my Y2K vinyl record is on the way. Out,
man.
out last
Check my
Thursday.
email.
I think there's only 300, so get yours while you can. It's only $25 on theyeti.com.
The one that I
I'll
have
put the link in the chat.
conspicuously sitting next to my desk.
You son of a bitch. I do not have a vinyl record in which to throw at people yet. I'm very upset.
Mine's in,
I have plenty of those.
mine's
But
in
not this
Pennsylvania.
I don't have
Y2K branded vinyl record.
I don't have
So-
the vinyl record.
Just let's just note that they did not get on a phone, and they're now just in the hall of Alex's parallel lives.
Right, they entered a door.
Right.
Yeah.
And do you take a door to get into a mine dungeon?
No.
Yeah.
Which means that we're still here, I guess.
Well, you're in the same place you've been all along. You haven't changed locations.
Can we enter these? No.
You'd go mad if you did. You'd go proto.
Where am I? The other
I like
rooms have
Mr. Dr.
viewing.
Butt's excuse. I'm gonna go swimming, regardless of where I am or what time of day it is. I also I have to return some videotapes. That's a classic.
Hell
That is
yeah.
a classic.
That one's
I,
even better. now. I love that one right
I have to
now.
go clean my turtle.
What I'm about to show you is something that lies. Please prepare yourself for a harsh amount of bitter truth. What you are about to see cannot be unseen.
Should I be worried?
No.
I think this song was the last thing I wrote for the
What do
game.
you mean? What have you taught
Really?
me?
No, the title
The
screen
last
was the
thing you'll
last one I
ever
wrote. This right before it. I did this and the title screen music the same day.
You know, speaking of going proto, that's kind of what it looks like Alex is doing over there.
I am about to show you your
I mean, I know that's not what's actually happening, but
destruction.
Oh boy.
oh boy. I don't remember. I don't think we see it here. Maybe we do.
So let's see. Did she already mention the line where he goes and talks about Vela?
Maybe I've been half reading it, half talking to you guys.
Sorry, I've just been like drawing this whole time.
I was playing Code Vein.
Like you
Am I
do.
the only one with the full attention to the freaking game?
No, Brian.
I'm like, wow,
Brian's
I
doing
miss
it.
playing.
I've
I
actually
haven't
been over
played
here
the new
playing.
update either, so
Been over playing
this is the
Runeterra while
first
I'm
time
playing this.
seeing a lot of stuff. Sorry.
Are
Hey,
those-
don't these figures of light look familiar?
yeah,
They
look
do.
like the people from the beginning of the game.
Huh, that's pretty cool.
Off guard when the end came. I always feel weird about like when people read text on Let's Plays for RPGs and stuff. Like, is that just me?
I couldn't say which one I prefer because sometimes, like, if I want to watch a stream before bed, it's really handy if they're just reading the story to me.
Okay, yeah, I could see
Then I
that.
have to be far away, so I kind of get it.
I think it comes from this friend I used to have. He'd come over and we were both pretty big nerds. but he had more RPGs than I did, back in like 2002 in another country when it was really hard to get these in English. And he would bring them over, and I'd play him, and he would just like sit there and read the freaking text while I'm playing it. I'm like, dude, I can read. Please stop. It was just really awkward.
I think it depends on what kind of stream or content you're making, right? Like, when you have a bunch of people like us commenting on it, probably you don't need to like fill air,
Right,
with
yeah.
reading it. But if
understand.
it was just like you or you
How is
another
this
person,
my
you
flaw?
probably want to read the stuff if there was no voice acting.
In a way, it is everyone's
Well, I think with
fault.
stuff like streams and even podcasts, sometimes it's okay to just kind of,
To
let
be
the room
destruction or
breathe.
to be creation.
That's why
It can only
I
be
try to
one
fill
event.
the air, but not 100% of the time, because it's
This reality
usually not really just organic. You're just like
doesn't
scrambling for stuff to
understand many
say,
realities before this
you know?
one.
And it ends up just sometimes just sounding kind of weird.
I destroy reality.
Though when I was doing the podcast, that was a lesson I was still learning,
Inaction
and I ended up
is
asking
as
a
much an act
few
of
dumb
aggression
questions
as
because of
taking
it.
up arms.
You know,
And
you know what they say about questions.
this happened.
Just not a dumb question.
How will I do this?
No, they're not dumb questions unless you ask
But
them.
what's
Oh, yeah,
important is that
it's
it
true.
doesn't have to be at the end.
I definitely made a few dumb sounding statements, that's for sure.
Wait.
Yeah, I think that happens
can
no
still
matter what
stop
you're
this?
doing, though. Like, it's gonna
The
happen. You're
reality
gonna,
is
when you
you
have
never know.
yourself out there for long
All
enough,
realities
you're gonna say
The
something and
only
it's gonna
thing you
sound
get to
stupid.
decide.
And that's something that a lot of people online don't seem to really grasp nowadays.
But you said it was
Because you have so
doomed.
many people
None
that are
of this
just
makes any
constantly out
sense.
there, just constantly saying things. Eventually, they're gonna say stuff that they don't really mean, or they don't really
This
have that much
reality
thought
will fade
into.
away, but this does not mean
Yeah, and
that you
just
can't
starting
cope
out
with lots of
sometimes,
future
like,
realities.
you're
How would I do
just
that
gonna
if we
mess
all
up,
died?
Like,
Conflict.
I'm kind of glad I did
Escape into
the,
the soul space.
I don't know if y'all remember, but I
You can
used to
take your
stream
fights
with
with us.
another friend of mine. He was the Georgia Smash
Together,
guy,
we will
and we
protect
did
realities from the
Pokemon Let's
ultimate
Go.
loss of
Kind of
souls
glad
who
I
perish
put
with
myself
no
through
data
that,
to
even
its
though
metals.
streaming with him was kind of hell,
When the soul
because
is
he
bound to the planet by
he was
thoughts and
constantly like
obsessions of
trying
worldly
to rush
things,
me through the
and the
game
soul
when
must
I had never
have
played
love for the
before, and
physical, alongside
Oh God.
the
and it's
spiritual,
like anytime I took
and
like a
the soul
second to
space.
do anything, he's like, "What the hell are you
I
doing?
want
You know how
to
this goes. It's
save this
Pokemon. Come on, it's just a
reality.
remake of Pokemon." I'm like, "Dude, please calm down."
What about my mother? My friends?
I mean,
Yeah,
that might have
luckily,
helped.
all of us here know that you're bad at video games, so we just are patient with you.
Yeah,
Anything
see
you
that?
want to do,
It's very true. Very true.
whatever you
Terrible at video
decide,
games.
I
Please
am with you
bear with
every
me
step.
But wait,
and laugh at me along the
That might
way.
have helped it be more
why
more
is this my
watchable though at the
choice?
same time,
Because
because
this
like
is your
maybe it might have
reality,
been
not
less
mine.
pleasant for you, but maybe for the watch, like I see a lot of people get
I just want you to be
in
happy.
comments and stuff, like, and while watching streams and stuff, like freak
Essentially.
out over how
How do you know me?
I
Why do
think
you
for some
care
people it's
so
like
much about me?
painful to watch
Because
like
you have
somebody
been
not
around
make it
my
through
life.
a game at the
And
speed that they
again,
expect
I
because
have
they
been
played it
there
1,000 times
I
and they
have
know it's
always
gonna
loved you.
happen. But
Right.
I don't
I
know.
would fight a losing
That's what
battle
sucks
for
about
you.
not being like an avid gamer anymore. Is I don't experience that
Yeah.
phenomenon anymore.
How do I even say to that?
Andrew says, "Note how Alex thinks the solution is to convince everyone to enter the soul space, knowing what the soul space is a metaphor for."
As Sammy, you helped me when no one else
And that
wanted to help me.
that
You
would
ever
be
just try to convince your friends to kill themselves?
well, he's not really doing that. He's doing it for them
You gave me back my music. The
Wait, you're saying
by a
I'm the
giant
asshole that
weird
used Vela and
meteor.
Alex.
I mean, but does the giant weird meteor really kill everyone? Does it really destroy reality? Do we not then see reality still in some form
Yeah,
after?
we do actually.
Just for yourself. Just feels like everything's ending.
Yes,
Can't you
exactly.
help but be the me
The
that
new
saves
beginning.
This reality?
You know what? I'll try to save that for when it actually
You know how
happens.
all these things are falling from the
But,
sky?
once again, the soul space is not death. You entered the soul space very much while you are alive, but you're in turmoil. It's like I said before, it's that time in your life when you're at your lowest, and who you come out on the other end is your new reality. So here he is in this state where he seems to think that there's no hope, there's no meaning to anything. And the solution is to convince other people that there's no hope and no meaning and to just give in and go and
That's interesting.
He cut
I
off there, but-
interpreted that like I think I understood all of that when I first played, right? In almost that exact way. Because again, seeing it through the lens of this being like this giant amazing metaphor for depression and everything. Like and being so experienced in that, I was like, oh yeah, I'm with it. But then also I feel like him wanting to convince everyone else is that thing that people do sometimes when they kind of discover like a new truth or like a new like I don't know if I have the words for this. When someone feels like they've refigured everything out, that they feel like they need to tell everybody, and then everybody else needs to see it through, and also refigure everything out about their lives. Like it's this great revelation to them, so it must be a great revelation to everybody else at the same time too, which isn't ever the case. But for some reason, like when you're in that space, that I've seen that happen to other people, and I've experienced it myself.
Revelation time, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Soul Space is sad boy purgatory.
I think I want to go.
Yeah.
Everyone's
When Alex goes to horny jail, he doesn't go to jail. He just goes to the soul space.
Horny space?
Okay. Anyways, bad jokes aside.
in the lore of the universe of the game, do you necessarily stay in the soul space for a long time? I forget.
Do you ever go to the soul space?
I think it's just whenever you get out. I don't think it exists in time, right? I don't think it necessarily. I think it's sort
I'm
of
not
like
talking
its own...
about you as the character. Literally, do you go? You don't really go for very in the game if you go at all, right? But like I'm saying, like people who go in the in terms of the lore of the game, people who go to soul space, do they stay for very long? But yeah, you're right. Maybe it's not a thing that exists in time.
Well, his little dialogue while he's in the soul space, I don't remember exactly word for word what it was, but he makes it seem like thousands of years go by, like by his perception.
So like I could actually just say things instead of just being dumb about it.
Go Lore Master, go.
Yeah, just
I'll let you take this one.
So like the game takes place in 1999. At the end of the game, you have the meteor, and then after the meteor and everything happens, the game resets back to the beginning. So like I explained this once in the YiiK Discord recently about how metaphorically how this scene transpires is that in theory something happens in New Year's. It is not literally a meteor, but something happens. Alex did something, right? And it made him feel as though his world has ended. And instead of, really going and doing anything to fix this, he sits for, and the game takes place in 2016 or 2015 or something. So he sits for, 17 years reliving this mistake he's made. Telling you about it, going, yo, this is what happened, and then you beat the game, and then it resets over, and you go, hey,
Okay.
That's kind of like a bit of a metaphorical kind of like analysis of what's going on there that I've come
So being unable to move on is the soul space?
I don't think he's actually in the soul space, but as far as like soul space movement, we've only seen we've only really seen a couple characters do anything, and they don't spend very long in the soul space. Bella travels it to go to a different universe, and then Rory goes there for a minute and is like, yo, okay, no.
Yeah, he's really only there for just a bit. Checking chat real quick, sorry. Okay, yeah, they're just talking back and forth. Making sure I'm not missing anything. No. Yeah, I think we're all caught up here. Alright, bus stop.
So the soul space trying to think of the best way to contribute to this without giving away too much of the stuff I'm going to unveil in 1.5. But Soul Space really is the place where you go when you're in between things in life, and that weight of the fact that where you are doesn't work anymore for you. And whether that's the result of some horrible tragedy or the result of, you know, an epiphany about the way you've been behaving, you know that there has to be some sort of change. And it's a very chaotic state to exist in. And
that's actually what I was trying to figure out. What I was trying to get to, how it fits into the metaphor of, you know, every change.
It sounds like
life, depression, and whatever.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like anxiety to me.
Yeah, because it's not necessarily depression or anxiety, right? It's this
Right.
it's just a metaphor for a big change in your life and ego death and everything, and for a lot of people they can experience that through depression or anxiety or a death or any number of things.
And what I meant to say was like not that sounds exactly like anxiety, but like anxiety is a part of that. That's what I meant to say. We're actually
Oh no, I was like agreeing with you. I was like, yeah, because the lens I experienced the game and the metaphor through was depression, and that's me. And then for other people, it could be like anxiety. For other people, it could be any number of things.
Right.
I feel like it's a great thing that works on a lot of levels about life in general, and not just a super specific experience like depression.
On that note, we're rounding up to 8:30 here. Wait, my bad. We started at 7, but we basically hit the checkpoint that we were talking about on Discord anyway. So I'll just go ahead and wrap it up here. And we should maybe be able to finish next time. I want to say.
I think we could do that.
Yeah. So
I hope I can be around for that.
yeah. So
yeah,
everybody.
you should definitely.
Is that because the only days I'm not really free is Friday, so.
Okay, that works out. I've enjoyed having you here. You've been great for the commentary.
Ah, thanks. It's been fun.
I look forward to losing to you later.
Yeah. Noob.
Freaking noob. But yeah, go ahead and plug all your stuff, and I'll go ahead and sign out.
Yeah, well, you know, Y2K is out on Game Pass. It's on Switch. That's version 1.25, which has all the new updates. 1.25 is coming to PS4 soon. You can buy the vinyl record now, limited to 300 copies. That's at the Yeti. I just posted the link in the chat, and you can follow us at Ackk Studios on Twitter, which I will also post in the chat. And that's it. That's all I've got to plug.
Hellcry.
All right, I'm Hellcry. I haven't said that much this podcast or this session, but
kind of does feel like a podcast.
I don't know. It's basically like a podcast. You can follow me on Twitter at Hellcry. I am right now getting into redesigning a lot of things for my game, so I might be posting stuff soon.
Cool.
We just got a new logo together, and it's looking amazing. So hopefully, yeah, I'll be posting some stuff soon. Yeah.
All right. Wilfred, you got anything?
God, I hate plugging my stuff, but I guess I will.
I just met you,
I'm,
so.
I'm an illustrator and I paint miniatures. I'm on Instagram and I have a website. I'm on Instagram at WDANJOU, and my website where you can see my paintings is wilfreddanjou.art, WILFRIDDANJOU.ART.
All right.
That's it.
And as always, you can find me here sporadically during the weekdays on Twitch, DLive, Trovo, and YouTube. You can follow me on Twitter at JTB+, and that name goes along with all the other stuff I'm on, so I'm sure you can find it. So until next time, later.
Later.